Police have confirmed that the man who tragically fell from the roof of an 18th-floor nightclub was not a bouncer.
God's sake.
What do you call a Cuban with an upset stomach? Gastroenteritis.
Oh, flipping it.
God's sake.
What's worse than having a lobster on your piano? Having crabs on your organ. Two thieves were robbing an off license. One of them grabs a bottle and says, "Is this whiskey?" And the other one goes, "Yeah, it's whiskey, but it's not as whiskey as robbing a bank." Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to the Black Dog Podcast, episode 210. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
And I'm in your walls.
And this week we'll be seeing how everyone's week's been. Oh, well, apart from mine, because I didn't do anything. And then we will get to any feedback for last week's episode. We will be asking some questions in the Asking for Trouble section. And then finally we'll be on to this week's movie, which is mine, which is Housebound. Or Housebound. You're housebound. Kylie, you're housebound.
Oh, no, it's not Australian.
It's not Australian.
No.
No, it's not. No, it's
no.
not. No, it's not Australian. But it sounds a lot like it. Anyway, right. Before we get on to that, we'll see how everyone's week's been. So, Jimbo.
Just stop now.
Just
Stop. Just stop. Stop it. You're going to end up with a Welsh accent soon enough.
Yeah, via India and
the
Hebrides.
and the Northern Asian territories. Anyway, right. So, Jim, how's it been? How's your week?
Fairly uneventful, to be honest. I did go to B&Q and there was an incident then. This bloke in black and orange came and says, "I want decking." Fortunately, I got the first punch in, so be on your guard.
I've got to get one of those rim shot buttons for
Darren,
when you
this
guys pull this
contagion is
shit.
spreading.
It is, isn't it?
What do we do?
I have no idea.
Oh, I was just waiting for another. I was just waiting for another gag to come flying in. But there you go.
No. One's enough.
One's enough. Anyway,
although those old butter croissants to rip off, I looked at the ingredients. There's flour and salt and all sort of other shit in them as well.
You know, my uncle was killed by drugs. You know that?
No, not you as well. No, not you as well.
He was run over by an aspirin van.
I've got to go back. I've got to go back and start getting the Oh God, where's that gone? I've got to find that. I've got to find that old thing.
Not that as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you've got to find it. You've got to now.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it.
I remember how good that was. He put a body in the post. You could just say she's dead on arrival. Wow.
What?
No?
What? I didn't
Okay.
hear we didn't hear the punchline.
I said he's just put a body in a post. You could say they were dead on arrival. Ow! No. Okay.
No.
I'll just sit over here then.
Just stamp that out.
Yeah. I'll just go. All right. Taxi.
Oh God. Right. Anyway. I found it.
It'll be one of those nights, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I found it. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm gonna be downloading that while you carry on, Jim. Go on.
Okie dokie. Well, mainly this week I've been greatly enjoying not having any appointments with either the hospital or the doctors.
Yep.
which seemingly you've had like at least one a week since January. That's been quite luxurious. But other than that, I've not done a lot other than I started playing a Far Cry New Eden.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So I'm sort of quite enjoying it. It's sort of scratching on the dead island itch for me of like a big open world game with lots of sort of different sorts of missions. You just potter around at your own leisure and do what you like, and that's a lot of fun. So I've got a dog companion, so I've been doing the full Don Johnson, a boy and his dog, post-apocalypse wasteland.
Nice.
But I thought, in the current climate, I should better keep my hand in. You know what I mean? The old post-apocalypse living.
Yeah, it can it?
Scavenging the ruins of civilization. Might be good. Might be time well spent.
Did you play Far Cry 5 before it?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. You should play Far Cry 5. Really, you really should, Jim.
I might have to look into that then.
Yeah, play Far Cry 5 and then play Far Cry New Eden. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I like Far Cry 5 actually.
Is that the one with Giancarlo Esposito or whatever his name is?
No. This is the one about the cult that's taken over a whole sort of area, and you have to go in and sort these 5 cult leaders out. But it's quite shocking. I won't say why, but it's the punchline to all of it is really kind of like shit.
He was a Russian acid all along.
He was
Krasnov.
So I highly recommend you go play Far Cry 5, Jim.
I might have to do that.
Just do it, and then play Far Cry.
Listen to my Uncle Barnett.
Yes, trust me on this. It's a big game, and it's quite trippy in places. Number 5,
yeah,
but it's good. No, it's good. It's very, very good. Quite satisfying as well. But it's not. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Just go do it.
Okay. Lovely. The Xbox has got a new big memory stick in, so excellent.
Nice.
Fresh acres of games to stick in there.
Yep.
Nice.
Lovely.
Oh, by the way, I just have to apologise because I have just got to check it.
No.
Yeah.
It's like having an old friend come back again. It really is. I just want to give it a big cuddle, I've missed you, Horatio.
Anyway, so you just been pottering around New Eden then, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much. That's been about it, and that's been quite nice after the couple of months I've had.
Yes.
But now the world's ending, so the holiday's over. Back to work.
Well, let's put it this way: it won't be long.
It'll soon be time to fulfill my destiny and go hunt down the Antichrist. But never mind.
Does it feel like we're living in an episode of Whoops Apocalypse? Does it not?
Yes, very, very much so.
Yeah.
I just wish we had Rick Mail's SAS.
Yeah, or Keir Starmer turns up as a Green Lantern.
Now, as soon as you said that, I could just hear Martin Thompson leaping into action with an AI. Yeah. It's straight in there. Keir Starmer as bloody.
Oh no, it was Superman. Sorry, the Green Lantern was on the cabinet, but it's the Prime Minister thinks he's Superman. That's it. Yeah.
Oh right, I preferred the Green Lantern. He's got the sort of like that square head for it.
No, who was the Green Lantern? See, there was a Welsh actor who was in an awful lot of comedy shows at the time, who I'm pretty sure was one of the cabinet ministers who turns up as the Green Lantern by the end of it.
No idea. No idea. I can't remember what's the apocalypse.
Oh, I can. Very good show.
Yeah.
Better than the film, but yeah.
What, Apocalypse Now?
No, Whoops Apocalypse. Sick minds, Mr. President. Sick minds.
Right. Anyway, sorry, Jim.
No, I'm about done. I've had a very, very quiet time and been enjoying it.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, we'll move on to Elton, because Elton, you said you had nothing last week.
Oh, yes.
But Kimmy's bought a car, so we were all placing bets that you would have a lot this week. And
well, thankfully, it's all been working rather well, so that's good.
Okay, that's
no
cool.
dramas just yet. Please don't wish me dramas.
Oh God, no.
I think that might be the end of me if I have dramas with that. It might just be Elton died of a heart attack. Never mind. Let's move on. Yeah, but it was fun going up there, collecting it, and seeing her face, and it was just all good, wholesome family fun. So
that's good.
That was good. That was cool. I'm trying to think what else. It's been really boring this week. Mourning the loss of a massive star during this week as well.
Halley's Comet.
No,
sorry, carry on.
No,
carry on.
That's still there. That's still there. It's on its way, actually. Some big entertainer this week passing away, which really got to me, and I was, man. Henry Kelly.
Oh.
Yeah. Forget Gene Hackman.
Henry Kelly, definitely.
Henry Kelly. Who can forget Going for Gold, or the unfunny one in Game for a Laugh?
Yeah, I was going to say, did Gene Hackman do Game for a Laugh? I don't think he did. Did he? No. There you go. Checkmate. In your face.
It was the Going for Gold thing. I was like, oh, no, not him.
That was the show with Hans Zimmer doing the theme tune. So,
And
totally class.
I've told you that story, but I went to the Hans Zimmer concert.
Yes,
with that composer lady whose name I can never remember, but Charlotte, and we went there and we got interviewed by the press team outside the concert, and they said, "What's your favourite Hans Zimmer track?" And I said, "The theme to Going for Gold." And they just moved on. They didn't ask me any more questions.
He's clearly not serious, is he?
No. Anyway, carry on, Elton. So you're lamenting the passing of Henry Kelly.
Yeah, I was really gutted about that. Actually, that was a bit of a surprise. I was like, oh man.
When was the last time you watched anything with Henry Kelly in it?
A couple of years ago, I did try to do a full rewatch of Going for Gold, where the prize was tickets to the 1988 Seoul Olympics. And they didn't. I don't think they had the final on YouTube. But, what? Oh man! So I was a bit gutted about that. It may be there now. I'm not too sure. And I remember listening to him on the radio as well. But I was actually a bit gutted. I'll be honest. I was a little bit gutted.
Seriously.
Apart from that, been pretty boring.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, okay. So Jim's been playing video games. Elton's been in the corner hugging himself while humming the Going for Gold theme tune and pouring one out for Henry Kelly. Darren, what you got?
Glad you said pouring one out.
Wow.
Anyway. Yes, this week I did do some DIY.
Oh, good Lord. You're still here? Or are you talking to us?
Hey, excuse me. I'm not the one who almost set Bromley on fire. Just sawing up a piece of wood. You person, you.
Well, I mean, it is worth mentioning to the listeners that we aren't on video feed, so we can't actually see whether or not you're actually calling us from the hospital or not.
No, I'm actually calling you from inside the thing that I built. They're still trying to get me out.
You're between the walls.
Ree has fed a microphone through the gap in the cupboard doors, and I'm speaking to you from inside the wardrobe right now.
You forgot to put a handle on the inside, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it. Cool, pleasure. No, we got a new wardrobe for Maria in her room because her one's just not fit for purpose. It's just too small. So yes, built this wardrobe. Really didn't have a problem with it. Went together just nicely. Fantastic. It was when I came to take apart the the actual old wardrobe.
Here we go.
It's I obviously did a much better job on it than I thought I did on the last one, because it was nigh on indestructible. I couldn't fucking take anything. You know those little round screws you get that you put into the wood, and then you put a bolt through them and you twist them and it locks the bolt in place?
Yes.
Yeah. It was mostly made up, joined together with that, right?
Right.
And I tried lining them all up to get the things out, and they wouldn't fucking go. And I'm trying to push with all my might, and there's nothing going on. And then I remembered everything was glued in place as well, right? And I've pulled out this thing out to look round it, and I can see that I've secured, I've reinforced bits that have gone together just to make sure it didn't fall apart. Right, because I got a bit paranoid, and there's fucking staples through this, that, and the other. It took me about half an hour before I found its Achilles heel, and then the whole thing just collapsed. Yeah, no, there was one bit. I just pulled it; it fell apart. After that, just all collapsed in on itself. So, yeah, there you go. So it's a future tip to people: if you're building a wardrobe, just have some. Just if it says glue something, don't, because you're bound to want to take this thing down later on.
Yeah.
So just give yourself an out, give yourself a back door for this. Okay.
Back door for your wardrobe.
Back door for your wardrobe, literally.
That's always advisable.
Indeed, it is.
Euphemism.
I wasn't going to say, Jim. I was going to get it live from you.
It's the right episode to have a back door in your wardrobe isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, euphemism.
Indeed.
I didn't know we done a Pornhub pick this week.
I was going to say, just watch you don't bust the back doors on it. All right. So
it was HomeBound, Jim, not HomeBound.
Oh, damn it!
You got it wrong.
Oh, it's the wrong type of scary movie. Oh,
hang on.
I tell you, you're all scared stiff. I know.
Hold on. There you go.
Have you not got that programmed into a button yet?
I have. It's in the button now. It's there.
Oh, it is good stuff. Excellent.
The only thing I haven't got is I haven't got the version that fades out. See, so it just comes to a sudden stop because I've had to do it in a quick, in a hurry. But don't worry.
No, honestly, you didn't have to. Honestly,
I didn't. I know, but I've done
really
it.
Didn't.
No, I didn't.
You shouldn't. Honestly,
I have.
Right. Okay, so the only one other thing that I've done this week is I got hold of a copy of Robocop Rogue City, which is the Robocop.
Days since Robocop quote 0.
Clarence Barnaker.
See, I tell you what, it's just impossible. You can't mention fucking Robocop without it turning into a quote fest.
Exactly, you can't.
Christ's sake.
Come quietly or there will be... Isn't that's lines you can say in a porno and also in Robocop. Come quietly or there will be trouble.
They can fix things. They fix anything.
You think you're quick? Think you're smart? Think you're smart on the bullet?
Can you
Clarence, no. It's
not bad, motherfucker.
No, Money Crusher. That's it. Mother Crusher. Yes.
Oh God, here we go again. Yep, we'll reset the clock.
Tastes like baby food. I can't believe nobody's done the classic. Dick, I'm very disappointed.
I'm sure it's just a glitch. A glitch.
I've got one thing to say to you, Dick. You're fired.
Thank you.
What's your name, son?
Murphy. Clunk. Oh, Christ.
course, the health and the safety's got hold of him, but now when he walks backwards, he has to beep. So beep, 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 beep.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
So anyway, the game itself is actually an official story. Continues on from, I think they took it from the end of Robocop 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when they're totally ignoring Robocop 3. So it's not bad. It's quite satisfying to march through buildings, literally like a tank, taking people out. It makes some very satisfying sort of wet noises when the bullets sort of hit their heads and blow their fucking brains out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that Peter Weller is doing the voice of RoboCop in this, right? They've got him in to do it. And even though there's all this action going on, it sounds like he's at home sitting in an armchair somewhere reading off of a cue card.
You just hear the chair sitting down and you go, Dick Jones is wanted for murder. Slurping through his coffee. Go on, carry
Indeed.
on.
So I've only got so far into it, but I will warn anybody trying to who wants to get hold of this, make sure your PC's got a decent graphics card in it, because mine struggled with this one. Many features were taken off before it became payable. Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad when you're actually playing the game, but it's when it comes to the cutscenes, Jesus, man. It's like, it's just smearing all over the screen and stuff like this from where it's not. My car can't quite handle what it's got there. So it's like, well, this is nice. I'll probably just skip through the actual cutscenes in future and just go through and just play the game in the action parts. But those aren't bad. It's just the game itself takes up a lot of resource.
Right.
A lot of resource.
Just get it on a PlayStation or an Xbox.
I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to. Good job I got it for so cheap. It was it's on Steam for what's it? It's there was a deal to get it for £7 or £8.
Yeah. And when you bought it, did you go, I'm cashing you out, Bob?
No, I looked at the deal and was like, I'd buy that for $1.
You went over my head. That hurt.
I want an SUX 3000. Make sure it's got Blaukapunkt.
Blaukapunkt. Oh, right. Anyway, so anything else, sir?
I think that's about it this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I haven't really done anything at all this week. I watched 10 minutes of The Brits, which I've now renamed Who's That? What's this music? It sounds like shit. Who's it again? Tell me. Who? What? Why has she got her tits out? What? Who? What's on the other side? Oh,
are you sure you were watching The Brits?
No, did you not see Charlie XCX?
No, I haven't seen
just a 5-minute Google Charlie XCX Bricks 2025.
Right. Hang on a second.
Okay.
That'll be all you need to know. And
you need to have an albatross for this one.
No.
Have we got an albatross that lasts at least 3 minutes?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll just read you some more RoboCop while you're looking. Excuse me, I have to go somewhere. There is a crime happening. Oh, no, I need me mug. I need me mug, don't I? Clarence Bodiger.
The Tigers are playing tonight, and I never miss a game.
Yes. So anyway, so watched The Brits for about 20 minutes, and that was about it, really.
Oh, yes, I've got it now. Brits
Oh.
Awards go to Brat as Charlie XCX sweeps Breast Artist and Song of the Year.
Mm.
Oh, hang on, I misread that. I was distracted.
Yeah. I mean, literally, you're sitting there at like 8:30 on a Sunday, on a Saturday evening, eating your fish and chips, going, "You what?"
She'll catch a death of cold dressed like that.
Yeah. God dear. So, anyway, so yeah, watch that, and then I bought a game, which I mean, it sounded like the video game podcast this week. Oh, you just seen? No, it's not. It's not Lord. It's actually Charlie XCX. Anyway.
It's really back, isn't it?
It really is back. It really is back. Enjoy. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I bought a game which I didn't like, and because I paid so bloody much for it. I literally beat myself into submission with Stockholm Syndrome with it.
So go on, name your shame. Name your shame. What's the game?
Baldurs Gate 3.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind games where you lose because you're skill. I don't. I really don't. I don't mind games where you lose because you're going into random events. That I don't mind. What I do mind is every single thing being an absolute clusterfuck for the first, 2 hours of the game, and the instructions which you're given by people on YouTube and people on Reddit and people everywhere else is autosave before every decision. It's like putting your finger in the sort of like the book. Yeah, it's like, so you quick save before every decision because otherwise the random dice will just fuck you up and you could be in a fight which you just simply cannot win. And it's just like, I tell you, I played that game. I think I've played that game now for about 7 hours. And I mean, I'll stop here because I know game chat can sometimes bore people, so I'll just skip it really. But I played it for about 7 hours. Of that, I think I spent 5 hours looking at the load and save screen because I just literally would just run into a room, say hello, and then I'd get swamped, and there'd be like 60 fucking things, and they'll all just kill me in a single go. Or in a case of one particular thing where I figured out a particularly clever way of assassinating one person, all 4 of my characters will stand around this person and just miss them point blank. To the point where that person then immediately runs past you and thanks to a lucky dice throw manages to call an entire castle's worth of bad guys down on you, and you're just on a hiding to nothing. And and there's so many. It's like the D&D rule book just falls on you. It's like the god of, it's like Gary Gygax literally just drops 100 years of Dungeons and Dragons on your head and just says, "I'm not explaining this shit. Here it is. Here's 100 menus, and here's 60 fucking options, and 75 classes, and 7 million fucking races, and they've all got different sub archetypes and rules." And
the Baldur's Gate is edition 3 of D&D, which was crunchy.
Crunchy is a word I'd use.
Endless rules and
yeah,
I figure some good ones in there, but way too much.
Yeah,
too many options.
When you go on a YouTube channel to try and find out what the game is actually about, because the game doesn't explain itself, and you're thinking, just give me a fucking beginner's guide, just to get me on the road, just to get me on the path. I know this game is like 200 odd hours if you did all the content, so just get me started. And the first thing this person comes up and says on the YouTube channel, it's like, some people don't get this game, but they don't do all the stuff. They don't put the work in. This is an intellectual game. It's a game that you need to read. It's a game that you need to invest in. Sometimes you have to meet the game halfway. It has to meet you halfway. You have to invest your time and you into the game. It's like me sitting there going, Or you could just tell me whether or not I'm supposed to put fucking points into intellect for wizard or in the fucking wisdom. Just give me a fucking clue here, mate. And so, yeah, I like I say, I Stockholm Syndrome myself. Literally been playing it like over the weekend, going, I paid 50 quid for this and I can't get a refund because I bought it on the bloody PlayStation store and now I can't take it back. I'm going to play it until I fucking like it or get to the point where I can give up.
So you can't get a refund on it? Because on Steam
No.
you can get a refund if you play
Yes.
like less than a couple of hours, can't you?
Yes, and I would have done if I could, but I can't because I did it on PlayStation because I wanted convenience like an idiot and I should have just fucking not bothered. I mean, it's, you know, there are people who like it and that's fine. And like I say, I'm getting into it now, but I've had to really force my way through 11 hours or so to this point to just get to a point where I go, I understand now what is happening here. I understand how these 55 menus and 60 things all operate. I don't know what's the best thing to do. I have no idea. But and oh god, some of the stuff is so clunky. But anyway, I will spare you all the rant. Suffice it to say, I know it's a 10 out of 10 game as far as people are concerned. If it was down to me, I'd just be going, it's all right. It's turn-based Diablo with a rule book thicker than the size of my house.
Wow.
And yeah, it's not really for me, but I'm fucking hate playing it now. I'm like literally like, I will fucking get through to Act 2 and then I will stop. And yeah. The only thing that it was notable for is the kind of random nature of the things that you can do. And I will say this because it was quite funny and it's just a general thing. So, you know, non-gamers can enjoy this. There's a moment where I was kind of exploring. I because that's me. I just kind of, once I get a game, I'm kind of like, I'm going to try everything. I'm going to go everywhere. I'm going to complete everything. And I went up to a shed, and in the shed it said there are animalistic noises coming from the shed. And I'm like,
warning, Will Robinson, warning.
Yeah, exactly. And
the shed be rocking, don't go knocking.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. I actually kicked the door open because I thought it was some kind of monster in there. I'm trying to get my XP up. I'm trying to get my characters.
It was a two-backed monster rotting around in the hay. It was terrifying. Kill them both.
It was a hidden mission of Love Dare Not Speak Its Name, and there was this sort of proper style Lord of the Rings sized ogre on her hands and knees being done up the arse by a goblin.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
And I was just, and yeah, well, that's what all my characters did. They were all like, "Oh my god, what have we done?" And in pure shame and terror, the goblin sort of went, "No, it's not what it looks like. Stop it!" And he's trying to cover his knob up, and then the female ogre stood upright, about 15 foot tall, and just went, "Me were enjoying this," and then she turns into like the Hulk trying to smash the fuck out of us all, and it was like, oh god. I'm having a fight in a deviant sex dungeon. I only thought I was going in to kill a fucking goblin or something. I didn't realize I was going to be killing a fucking sex dungeon of fucking ogres and weird sex stuff. It was just I mean, hats off to the to the creators for following that through, but Jesus Christ, I was, wow, okay, that's a thing. Sean, the Sean Locke meme, that's a challenging wank. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's a game that's not really for me. I'm sure there are people who are into Dungeons and Dragons who will really dig it, and they probably played it already. But fuck me, there's too much. There's too much for me to play. I'm too much to absorb as a game to enjoy. There's too much of me just going, what the fuck am I about to do? What button am I about to press that's going to cause massive damage or is going to kill my entire crew because I've just done something wrong? And I can't be sure. And I'm just constantly in anxiety and just going, oh, I've taken one step forward, save. 1 step forward, save. 1 step forward, save. It's just like, what? I might as well just pretend I've played it because it's not really going to get me anywhere.
It might be worth getting hold of a copy of actually the player's handbook. Because that'll be easier than looking through the menus. I knew someone who played, was it Baldur's Gate 2 or Neverwinter Nights? But that's what they did because they didn't have a clue about D&D, and that was actually made life a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean,
Baldur's Gate 3 is 5th edition D&D actually, so that's the.
I mean, I
you
understand.
can find it Wikipedia somewhere. All these basic rules actually for free.
Oh, right.
Which will cover all the basic stuff like character creation, what the classes do, all that stuff. Because they made all the very basic rules all free during COVID, and it still is, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but that would give you all the ins and outs to help you like balance your party and understand what everybody does without going through lots of difficult to read menus on a telly screen.
Yeah, it's not just the menus. It is literally just like I don't know what I'm actually being asked to make a choice about. I don't even know. Yeah, and I got a horrible feeling that because this is all just going to carry on, and then you're going to get to some point in the game, and it's going to go, you didn't do this. You haven't got this skill, you fool. And it's like, oh crap. But anyway, right. Well, I'll leave it there anyway. So, because otherwise it's just going to be me going, and then on this game, I'm just losing my mind with it. Right. So let's get on to feedback. Did we have any feedback for last week's It's What's Inside? Well, we did. We had Peter Organ, the Reverend Peter Organ from the Borg cast. And he wrote, it's well acted, well written and directed, and I'm sure it's possible to get more out of it with a second watch. But there is no way I want to spend another second with those annoying feckers. Thank you very much for that. You can hear more of Pete.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, that's it. You can hear more of Pete on the Baldcast, which is baldcast.libsyn.com, covering original series Star Trek and Lower Decks at the moment. Also, we brought up the fact that they were doing the Culture and Hyperion adaptations. And Adrian Saunders goes, the Mighty Zim goes, the Culture adaptation is currently being described as the anti-Star Trek. I don't think they read any of the novels. No. Because the Culture is supposed to be the piss take of Star Trek, not the anti-Star Trek. It just makes me sad. While Ian Spaceship Stead jumps in on the same subject and just goes, they're making Hyperion? No! Because Hyperion is another one of those big epic sci-fis where you kind of think, yeah, this needs like the Dune kind of effort put in. Not
okay.
It's to cut a long story short, it's essentially 4 books, 2 of which are relevant, the first 2, and it involves 7 characters. It's like Chaucer's was it Canterbury Tales?
Oh, yeah.
And the 7 characters are traveling to this place called the Time Temple, which is sort of like this ancient structure. Nobody knows really what it is, but it is guarded by this creature called the Shrike, which is some kind of organic metal, basically walking knife. There's no other way of describing it. It's literally every edge on it is sharp. And essentially, people believe that if they get to this thing and can talk to it, they get one of 2 options. Either it grants you a wish, or it basically puts you on this tree like a shrike bird, which will leave you which will forever keep you alive through technology, but forever have you in pain. So you'll be impaled upon this spear on a tree called the I think it's the Tree of Thorns, and so it's the set why these 7 characters are risking their lives on a bet that they might be able to get to this creature, and this creature might let them have their wish. And it turns out that they're all linked in some fashion, not just by the strike. So it's an interesting story, and the first book is basically them telling their backstories as they basically travel to this thing. And it's like a story for one of the characters and another character, and it goes through. So it's like the first book is essentially constant flashbacks, and then the second book is essentially them getting to this thing. And it's all set against massive galactic, a galactic hegemony run by the Catholic Church, who are absolutely mental. Is probably the best way of putting it, and corrupt as fuck. So not much different than what we got. So so it's big, it's expansive, it's proper epic, and it's absolutely impossible to do as an Amazon fucking knock it out in a couple of weeks TV show mini series done by the guy who played Rocket fucking Raccoon. But there you go. Anyway, that was the feedback.
I'm really glad you're looking forward to it. Anyway,
I really am not. I the best I can be is pleasantly unimpressed. That's the best I can think about it. I can't see it being any good whatsoever. I just can't. I would love to be wrong, but I don't think I will be. Anyway, I think once we've done that, if anybody else has any feedback on this episode or any others, you can leave it on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. Hit me up on Blue Sky, which is cartoonbeardy.bsky.social, or send us an email, the old-fashioned way, to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. And now it's time for...
There are more questions than answers.
Yes, it is, and we still haven't been sued for playing that. So, anyway, so we'll start off with, let's go through them. There's some idiot says, who can say the name of the Beatles the slowest?
Stag, Wood, Colorado.
The Beatles.
Oh, not Beatles, right? Okay.
Oh, fuck me.
Well played.
Oh, don't forget Ringo. Yeah. Was that Ringworm? That's it, yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Fucking hell, fire. Right. Yeah, well, I'm not going to do that. Whoever said that is an idiot. Right, enough of that. Stop that. It's silly. Hold on, was it?
Shut up, Wesley.
Thank you. Right.
Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah, shut up, Leslie. Right, okay.
Shut up, Leslie.
Leslie. Yeah, it's how we get around the copyright. Murray the Pieman Christensen wrote in to say, you're allowed to kick one actor and one director in the soft parts with no consequences, but only one. Which one would it be? Who would he choose? An actor or a director?
Can we say producer as well?
Yeah, why not?
All right, Damon Lindelof.
Wow. Yes. Right. That's it. You've got him, have you? He's gone right down in the love spuds.
The director. Who's that twat that did the last Star Wars film?
I was just about to write his name down. J.J. Abrams.
No, not J.J. Abrams. The one before that. Sorry, the Last Jedi bloke.
Oh, Ryan Johnson.
No, yeah, is it? Yeah, him, the one who just went, I'm going to take all the stuff that you've done. I'm not going to read any of it. I'm just going to make this shit up as I go along. Because, it needs to be different. Oh, yes. Of course. Who needs structure in a fucking trilogy? Ooh.
So that's it. So far we got a pile of bodies with Damon Lindelof at the bottom, Ryan Johnson holding his knackers on top of that. So Jim, who you got?
I'll go Jared Leto.
Oh,
very nice.
You son of a bitch. That's a good one. Fuck. Bastards have taken all my good ones.
I'm going with J.J. Abrams.
Oh, you can't go in for a second?
I can.
Oh, all right then.
And I know I will, and I have.
And you have?
Yes.
Good Lord.
And I'm the actor. I'm going to go with Adam Sandler.
No, good choice.
Yeah. I mean, for actor, I think I might take a good long run up with me hobnail boots and kick Mark Wahlberg right in the knackers.
Really? How you doing? Say hello to your mother for me.
Yeah, fucking hell.
You're a cat. How's that doing for you?
And then I might
hello to your mama for me.
And then if we can do a 2-for-1 with the director, then I might turn around with a second swing and go for Mel Gibson right in the knockers.
Racist Melly Gibson? What?
Yeah. Racist Melly Gibson, and while he's lying
Melly
there.
Gibson. Okay.
Him and fucking Marky Mark and the Christian Funky Bunch, the pair of them.
I was going to say, would you kick Marky Mark and his Funky Bunch?
I would kick
We'll be so funky after I've fucking finished with it.
Yeah. And for legal reasons, we have to say this is a theoretical thing, not a thing we intend to do. Oh God, I hate the fucking internet nowadays. Right, so there's that. Okay, we have another question from who we got here. Hold on, where's not most relevant? Don't search by most relevant. Show me newest, you fucking silly Facebook tosser. Oh, Anne-Marie Organ, who says, if you can travel back in time and attend a premiere of any movie, which one would it be and why?
Oh.
Oh, interesting.
Attend a premiere. I've done a few already, so I'm trying to think of.
I've done a few already.
I have.
Ooh.
I have. I have. I've done Revenge of the Sith on the red carpet. We got blocked out by Channel 4. They literally blocked us out with an umbrella because we were standing right behind people being interviewed. I think I would love to go to the premiere of Alien. Man's Chinese Theatre, 1978, 79, whenever it was, and go there when people didn't know what the fuck was coming. I think that alone would be well worth it. I would have done that. That would absolutely, because I just think that would be great to see it for the first time through fresh eyes, and all that stuff about people fainting and throwing up when I just think that would be a fantastic experience because everyone's going and going, oh yes, let's have a look and see what's going to be. Oh my God. I think that'd be quite good. Anyone else?
Well, I'm going to say a cliched one. I'm
going
to say Star Wars, because I'd like to come out afterwards and say to people, you know what? I've got a sneaking suspicion Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia's dad. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why.
Yeah, something tells me.
Something tells me, yeah.
Fair enough. So you're the
Spoiling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go on in, Jim.
I think I'd quite like to go back to say either the first Universal Frankenstein.
Oh, nice.
because people hadn't seen anything like that.
I thought he was going to say soldier then.
No.
Soldier?
Universal soldier. I was like, what?
God.
Universal. Wow, that's a real kind of.
I don't think
left
that
field.
got a premiere. That just turned up in video shops.
I was going to say.
People just left it there and they hired it out.
It didn't get so much a premiere. It got thrown through someone's window, tied to a brick. The videotape. There we go. Have that. There's your fucking premiere right there.
Yeah.
Or the other one would be Forbidden Planet. Because that's another kind of
nice.
one of those landmark. I think anyone's seen a science fiction film. That'd been sci-fi before, but nothing like Forbidden Planet. That'd have been kind of the Star Wars of its day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Nice. That's a good call. Good shout. What about you, Elton?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong in going cliche on this sort of thing because,
Go on then.
well, I think it has to be Star Wars, the first blockbuster.
That was Jaws.
All right, whatever. Flipping out.
Yeah. No, Star Wars is a good call. Star Wars is definitely a good shout. I can imagine that being absolutely rocking.
I think Empire would be good as well, though.
Oh, yeah.
Empire.
Yeah.
People come out of Empire will got hit over their head with a brick. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's really cool.
You could go to that, and just before the famous line, you could actually just shout it out, couldn't you? Just like ruin a generation. Yes.
Yeah. It was at that point you were lynched. You never came back from that time.
See, now this is a good question to add on to it. Are we going to the premieres with the knowledge of already seeing it? Or are we just going to the premiere and witnessing it for the very first time?
Oh, that's a good
I'll
wrinkle.
go for trolling purposes, me, but you know.
Oh no! If I could go and not know what's going on, I think it'd be even better to go and see Alien. I would love to do that for the first time ever.
Yeah, I'd love to see that film for the first time again.
I mean, I saw that. I never saw that for the first time in the cinema until I was like, what was that? 18, 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. I saw it in the double bill on the at the old what's it called? The Marble Arch Odeon. They did a double bill with that and Aliens. And that's when I went to see it. And yeah, so when was that? 1986. So I would have been 15. Snuck in. I had a beard. I could get away with it at that point. Cool. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, I would go and see it not knowing anything. What about you, Elton? Would you do that?
Definitely Alien. All the cliche ones that we've done, like the Thing, Alien, Terminator 2, Terminator.
Yep.
All of these.
Robocop.
Robocop as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Give the man a hand. Fucking hellfire. That's become our thing now. I think it is. We just have to Robocop it every week. Oh, God. Answered. There you go. We can do that. Anyway, that's it for the moment. I will leave it there. Yes, I'll leave that there. So, if you have any questions for us that you want us to answer on Asking for Trouble, just go on the Facebook group. Leave them under the thread that's pinned to the top of the group, and we'll get round to answering them, as you can hear, just like we've done today. Except, don't ask us to do fucking Beatles names the slowest. Seriously. Fool. Anyway, right, we'll leave it there, and when we come back, we'll be homebound. Roll the jingle. Hello, Moto.
Hello, Moto. Hello, Moto.
Right. Random. Why not? Housebound is a 2014 New Zealand horror comedy, written and directed, edited, and no, it doesn't star. I don't think. No, it doesn't star. Or maybe it does. No, it doesn't. It doesn't star Gerard Johnston. And it's in his feature film directorial debut. The film would premiere 10th of March 2014 on South by Southwest Festival. Stars Morgana O'Reilly as the woman sentenced to a house arrest, which has been in a house that's been potentially haunted. The film also stars Rima Te... Oh my God. Rima Te Watia? Wiata?
Wataya?
Yeah. Akuna Matata, Glenn Paul. Anyway, it stars some people, and I can't pronounce their names. So look them up on Wikipedia. Nobody looks this shit up. Anyway, the film, as I said, was released on 10th of March 2014. So it's almost a decade old. In fact, it's just over a decade old, isn't it? Yeah. It had a budget of $400,000 US. How much do you think it made at the box office, Jim?
2 million 3/4 size Jesuses in a cellar.
Who keeps Jesus in a cellar? Yeah, go on, Dal. How much do you reckon?
A little known George Michael song.
I won't do the yeah. I'm too far away from the button. Go on, Dal. Go for it. What do you reckon?
A pair of dodgy knees, which means I can't be down here for too long.
Yeah. Elton? Oh, I'm not even going to follow that up. You're right, Elton. Well done.
Bravo, sir.
Bravo.
Well done. Can we have that as a catchphrase this week?
What?
Just running
that
water.
sound.
Yes, that sound.
That's the phrase that pays for this week.
It's very reminiscent of the Prince when he changed to a symbol and went, pronounce that, you fuckers. Go on.
Yeah, go on, get on with that. Anyway, right, so we'll go around the table as ever, see what everyone thinks of this film. No spoilers. And it's my pick, so I'll go last. So we'll start with, I guess none of us have seen this, have they?
No.
I thought I had.
Yeah.
And me and Teresa sat and watching going, I don't remember this. It turns out we're thinking of another New Zealand film about criminals in a haunted house called The Dead House.
Nice.
Right.
It wasn't this one at all, as it turned out. So
Nice. Okay. Well, then in which case, I'll tell you what, Jim, what do you think of Housebound?
I quite enjoyed it, despite the messing with my memory. I'm going, have I seen this? I don't remember this.
This is not the film I remember because you haven't seen it.
It was just a 90s, just kind of like off-kilter comedy. Well, I mean, over-egging the pudding, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's still told at a nice balance between actually being an interesting story and funny.
Yes.
And it's kind of, it was good. It was good fun. I would say when it was funny, like that toilet scene, it was really funny.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my favourite bit in the spoilers room. There's some great moments in it that are just really come out of left field at you.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes, a lot of fun.
Excellent. And Elton.
I enjoyed this. Yeah, definitely. I thought it was. I'm going to echo what Jim has just said. Really, the story surprised me. There was a lot going on in this story, where normally you get to like an hour and 40-odd minute film, and you think, okay, they're going to start padding out here, but there was a lot to go through on this, and I think it filled it up really well, used its time really well. The humor is, I think, really, really well done. It's so subtle, so dry, so low key. It suits it. So yeah, I had fun with this. Not fantastic and over the top or anything like that, but yeah, I quite enjoyed this.
Cool. Darren.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I've got a bit of an affection for Australian and New Zealand comedies anyway, just because of the delivery. It's it's like another country is very close to the way English do their humour. It's quite it can be subtle, but it can be quite abrupt as well,
Yeah.
So so I loved all the little comedic bits in it, from the phrases and stuff like that, for like bending down. I've got to get up with my knees.
Yeah.
I really like this film. It was good.
Lovely. Cool. I haven't seen it before, and I've got to echo everyone else's sentiments. I find horror and comedy work well together, but it's a fine balance to have a film that can be both horror and comedy. Too often it tips over. I mean, they're all classics in their own way, but things like Young Frankenstein, for example, it's a nod to the universal horror, tries to do a bit of horror, but then just goes, you know what, fuck it, it's a spoof. And then you're like, right, okay. Army of Darkness is another one. It's Evil Dead, it's a sequel to the Evil Dead, and then all of a sudden by the end you've got like fucking Marx Brothers gags and all sorts of stuff going on. So it usually tends to tip. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, same sort of thing. It's a comedy with a bit of horror in it rather than horror comedy. So there's not many that actually get it right. This one, I think did. It's got, when it's funny, it is funny, and when it's horrible and needs to be tense and scary, it does the trick. It really does. It went on a touch too long for me. At the end, I felt like it was treading water at the end, but it done so much right that I kind of forgave it that, really. So I was really pleasantly surprised that this actually worked out as well as it did. So there you go. Yes, thumbs up. So there you go. You've heard all of our opinions. You've not heard any spoilers. I would definitely very strongly recommend, if you are going to see this film, do not listen to the next bit of the podcast. I would say go and see this as blind as you can, because it doesn't go where you think it's going. And that's good. And that's good. So go in as blind as you can. Don't listen to us. Go watch the film. Come on back. Make yourself a cup of tea. And we'll see you all back after the spoiler zone. I'm going to just press some buttons here. Let's just keep doing this.
Hello, Moto.
Shut up, Wesley. Shut up, Wesley.
Hello, Moto.
Shut up, Wesley. Shut up, Wesley.
There you go. One day I'm actually going to make a spoiler zone jingle. I not just press randomly on my soundboard and just hope things work and just do my favourite things. But, there you go. Okay, so let's get started. We're in the spoiler zone now, ladies and gentlemen. This really is going to be a thing that will spoil the film, because a lot of the film hangs on not knowing anything about it. So please, I'm saying now, before we go any further, don't go in to this film knowing what we've told you. Just go in blind. Okay, you've been warned. So, the end. No, joking. So, how did everyone find it? If I tell you what, let's get the important bit out of the way. Elton.
Yo.
Roast potato score.
Oh, I think in the very beginning, when it was what I would class as a horror, creepy mystery horror type thing, that was pretty tense. Stuff moving in the background, shadows moving, and you're like, "Oh, what's going on there?" Weird faces looking at you. You're like, "Oh my god!"
Through the windows.
Yeah, I would give it a 2 star or 2 roast potatoes.
2 tatties. Wow,
That's pretty good.
That's solid. 2 tatties, better than we've done for a long while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, cool.
I think that waned off once you know exactly what's going on. Then it loses its horror appeal, I think, or horror tag, shall I say?
Yeah, fair enough. Well, Jim, how did you find it as the horror aficionado from horror's perspective?
As you said, I think it does a good job of balancing the horror and the comedy. I mean, my go-to example for what is a proper horror comedy is American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
Which balances sort of being funny and being scary pretty well. Whereas things like Shaun of the Dead, an equally great film, but that is definitely a comedy horror. It's a comedy in a horror film setting. Whereas this is definitely the other side, because there are some bits I think were really actually well scary.
Definitely.
When the lights go out and it just flicks back on, and there's that shape stood there. I mean, that's a good roast potato moment. And really just nicely played. But, the comedy and horror both depend on, timing. And, if you get it right, you can blend them very well. And I was quite pleased because I was watching this going, I'm sure we've seen this, but I don't remember any of this. And so I had no idea where it was going. And it was kind of like, oh, okay. And it just kept, I think it was very well paced as well. So the problem with not so much horror, but comedy films is they come out the gate with a lot of gags. And then after about an hour, you sort of, you're a bit punch drunk. Another gag. Yeah, whatever. Whereas this, it just sprinkles the comedy in at the right moments in between the scary bits.
Yeah.
And so, one feeds off the other because you have tension build up, then you have a laugh, release, then build the tension again. And you know what I mean? It works really, really well. And I say I like the fact it's quite understated in both the horror and the comedy, which makes it sort of more effective.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Darren, what about you?
What, in general?
Yeah, in general. Did you like the scariness? How did you find it?
There was some creepy bits in it. I think the thing that raised the heckles on the back of my neck, because I always look for that, is the subtle bits. Because there was a lot of that where they've got the character in one corner of the screen, and you know for a fact that something is going to be filling the big gap next to them. And there was one bit where you see, I think it's Kylie. She's looking at something, and the background is like all blurred. But then you see actually someone standing up behind her.
Yeah,
that bit.
Yeah,
but it was the bit with the teddy bear.
Oh God,
bit that when it got. But yeah, that's where I started feeling creeps from that.
Fucking teddy.
So the fucking teddy bear.
Fuck you, Teddy Rumpix.
I just want to be your friend. Right in the fucking fire.
Yep. And so goes the fate of many Teddy Ruxpins. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Motherfucker.
Hasn't got any batteries in it.
Yeah. Go on, carry on. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, it was. It was that sort of thing. The subtle stuff was for me the creepy. The creepy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I go along with that. I've said it many times on this cast. I find the stuff that you don't see or the stuff that you can't predict more scary than here's the gore, here's the jumps. But that said, when that hand came out from underneath that fucking table, I was no.
But I think they blend the comedy and the scares and horrors very well. There's that moment where they're in the basement and he's got his little dictaphone and he's recording his questions to a spirit.
Yeah.
And you turn up the volume, you get all the white noise, and you're like, you are tense, waiting for that voice to come over it, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's like, no, there's nothing there.
Yeah, that was a brilliant subversion. That was the whole thing. Is you're sitting there, you're waiting for it, and it's like, well, what about this?
But if you watch it a second time, there is nothing to be there, is it?
No.
That's what was so wonderful about it on the first watch.
I loved that when he was. What about the comedy? Then did we like the comedy in it?
I love the comedy.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. One of the first things I burst out laughing was when the guy was putting up the CCTV, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry," he says, "Yeah, no, there's no." And you see him, he gets up and he's got one hand curled up, like it's just all he's doing is been burnt away.
He's still got the nervous cramping. It's like his arms kind of fighting itself, trying to climb up his shoulder. And I mean, I was off from the start when they were attacking the ATM. He just did it and he fucking brains himself.
And she's like, "What the fuck?"
And the alarm's going off, and she's just slowly dragging him across the floor. Yeah, I thought that was really fun.
That's how you start your movie. Get your audience's attention. Stay out the gate.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's really clever. Because the thing is, it throws you straight away because you're just like, okay, this is definitely a comedy. And then by the time you get to the whole thing of the mum phoning into the radio station, and you're thinking, okay, so she's nuts. And then you're thinking, oh no, this is fine. It's still a comedy, you know. That she, you know. And then all of a sudden, it's like the computer goes off, and you got the whole thing with the lights, and then it slowly builds up, slowly, and you're like, oh, hang on, maybe this isn't as as funny ha as I once thought. And then by the time, like I say, by the time the hand's coming out and the fucking shape behind her and the fucking Teddy Ruxpin, I'm like, I'm not entirely sure I'm enjoying this as a comedy anymore.
Even that bit with the computer where she switches it on and you hear the fans going off like a fucking hovercraft. I mean, as being in IT, I had to smile at that anyway. Right? That did make me laugh just from a sort of like, you know, I've seen systems like that before.
Yeah, just filled with old shit. Yeah.
Fucking dial-up modem as well. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but where did you? Where did you guys think it was actually going? I mean, before the reveal of what is actually going on, did you start to get into the it's really supernatural going on here, or were you into the it's like Scooby-Doo and there's like a dozen different explanations as to what's actually happening?
I think they made.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, go on, Dal. Go on.
Oh, I was going to say, I think they made Scooby-Doo look like Sherlock Holmes, really, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't key into... I think I was concentrating more on the scares and the jokes at the same time than rather the actual story itself. And so...
Yeah, I wasn't so much asking if you'd figured it out or anything. It was more just like... Were you straight onto kind of like, this isn't going to be real, or did you think it was the ghost of a murdered girl from an asylum that's in the house?
I'm trying to remember what I think I had a. It's going to sound fucking shit. I think I worked out that there was someone in the walls.
Oh, right. Okay.
I can't explain why. I think it...
Are you in the walls at the moment, Elton?
No, I am not in the walls. I think it was just a feeling that I had of it was just that. I don't think there was a ghost or anything, but yeah, something just keyed me into it. I'm not too sure what it was though. And normally I miss all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Oh well, that's cool. Maybe the podcast after 600 odd episodes is finally wearing off on you.
No, definitely not. No, this was a mistake. This was an absolute mistake. I didn't mean to get it.
No, I'm glad. I think it's cool if you got it, because I didn't. I must admit, at first I was thinking, oh no, it's the old man withers across the way burning his possum pelts or whatever the fuck he was doing, and then I was like, no, he's too obvious. He's going to either be the guardian, watching out for the spooky spirits. He's going to be
the crazy Ralph character.
Yeah, exactly.
Move out! It's got a death curse.
Exactly. Yeah. Hi, I'm Ralph. Do you want to know something? You're doomed. But yeah, I thought it'd be that or the Van Helsing style character. I sort of comes in and saves the day at the last minute when everyone thinks he's the villain. So at that point, I was fully embedded in the supernatural thing, and then when the bloody hand came out from under the workbench, I was like, "Yep, that's it. That's supernatural. There's no more ifs and buts. I'm not thinking any further on this. We're in spooky land." What about you then, Dal?
I think I agree with everyone else. Really, I've got really much to add to that. It's
Well, were you thinking it was a ghost, or were you already keyed into in the walls?
No, I was like you with that. I was convinced it was a ghost, and then it's like, oh, it is someone in the walls. But it's things like the teddy bear threw me.
Oh yeah,
because it's like so it's possessing this. It's doing the lights, and then it's when he goes to see the old bloke in the house next door, and he explains about him. I completely missed that as a clue as to what was going on when he goes, yeah, he was really big into electronics and stuff, and he could fix anything. So I thought we'd get maybe we could both profit out of this. And it's just
until I found him trying to take a cat's legs off and put them on backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What about you, Jim?
Well, I wasn't sure at all. I mean, from that cellar bit with the hand, I thought, ghost. But then again, it was kind of. I think it was when we first hear about Eugene. Now he never went out. I thought, hang on. There may be an alternative explanation, or possibly several different explanations going on.
Yeah.
But I was just quite happy to sort of go along with the ride, because it was kind of it was a case of you never quite knew where it was going to go next.
Which is cool, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I really like that, because it isn't kind of, you see, all right, she's got the bracelet on, it's all going to be based in the house. Until her friendly probation officer goes, all right, well, I'll just snip this off. We can go investigate the creepy guy next door.
Yeah.
In a really crap stakeout.
Oh, by the way, that bit of the stakeout, when she goes in and she tries to get his teeth.
Yes.
Oh, my God. That's when I knew we were into sort of early Peter Jackson territory, when it goes into that big fisheye, and then she starts off doing the subtle kind of one finger in the mouth, and then it's like two fingers. Then by the end, she's got the entire fist in there, sort of trying to yank his fucking teeth out. And all he does is he sits up, coughs, spits them across the room, and goes back to sleep. Like, fucking hell.
Well, I quite like it when he catches the guy, and he's like, despite having breaking and entering and weirdos in his house, he's like completely reasonable for this supposed to be mad old lonely man. You're right there. You better come with me. I've got something to show you.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Find what you were looking for in there, did you?
Oh. No, if you want to sum up the comedy in this film in one short scene, it's that scene where they're talking in the car park, and she's going on, and he's going, all right, calm down, stop it. He just, what are you going to do? And he just slaps her. bang. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. The comedy was really laid on thick with some of it with the toilet scene, for example, the one that Elton referenced, which I thought was just that's when you got the sort of like, this is how far they're going to take it. But I love all that stuff where they're all sitting there trying to judge her about having drugs, and she's just sitting there going, "You fuck off, you fuck off." Yeah. It's like, oh, it's you've got dissociative disorder or something. She goes, "I'll get fucked." Did you lose track of time? No, I didn't. Yeah. I put a vacuum cleaner in the back of the cupboard. The rest is a blur. What did you say? When she's trying to explain it all, and it's just fucking typing it out.
Hold on. Going too fast here.
Yeah. I put the cupboard in, kicked in the back door, and then I saw this amazing place. Okay, hold on. Open the cupboard. It's just, oh yeah.
So you broke out your house, and you want to go back to your house?
Yeah. I love all that sort of stuff. Oh, was it the when they put in the link around her ankle, and the mum's trying to make the best of it, and he's like, "Oh gosh, it's a bit high tech. Aren't you lucky? A bit of fancy technology around your foot like that." It's like.
If anyone's wondering where you've seen the mum before, she's in Hunt for the Wilder People as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she was the mum. She was the mum that died at the beginning, wasn't she?
Yes, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So she dies, and that's when old man Sam Neill goes off with the kid. Yeah. Again, it's it's the same sense of humor, and that total droll, deadpan, flat delivery. It's like, got to keep him in the room, Mum. Well, how am I going to do that? We'll just do what you do. And you cut to like 5 minutes later, and she's sitting on the sofa, just driveling on about any old shit in the village. And the psychopath is actually losing his mind because of the inane bollocks he's just been constantly bombarded with. The mum actually kicks him off, really, doesn't she? Anyway, but how do we feel about the guy in the wall? I mean, how did we feel about that as a plot? I mean, is it cliche? Was it done well, or was that the moment where it all tipped over into comedy when he was like, basically looked like sort of like Marley's ghost from a stage player Scrooge?
I'll be honest. I think I've only ever seen that happen in 2 movies, including this one.
Mm-hmm.
I won't give away the other one, but I'm guessing it's in quite a lot of movies. So I haven't seen enough for it to be, oh God, me rolling my eyes at it. So I'm all right there. I'm safe. I'm flagged as safe on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all right. I don't mind that. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think it works well. I think for a younger generation as well, coming into movies which probably haven't seen the other movies you guys have seen.
Yeah,
this may be their entry into someone behind the walls.
Yeah, definitely. What about you? What about you, Jim? How are you feeling about that?
I didn't mind it because it's kind of there's a few films do that trope, but not that many, so it's like overused. And it's again, it's the way you tell them, and the fact is it's not immediately obvious. It wrong foots you into thinking something else is going on. And is also intertwined with that, you've got the the whodunit strand of the plot as well. Which it's not hanging all its mystery on one peg. There's two. There's actually, you think it's one mystery, but it's actually 2.
Yeah,
that are connected. between the spooky things happening in the house and who done the murder. And it's quite clever, actually. It's a very neat story structure, I think, because you don't realise these two separate mysteries to solve. And I think it's just very well paced out with what it gives you when it gives you it. So you ever be slightly ahead of this movie, but it's always probably going to pull someone you don't quite expect when you don't expect it.
Yeah,
I think that's what it does really, really well. The story, and it is really intricate.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of threads going on there. There's a couple of, I think the old man over the road, he does like a little dump of exposition, but apart from that, you are really working it out, and there's a lot to work out. I think there's more than you think when you first go into this movie. When you got shadows in the background, you're like, okay, right, well, this is just going to be a story about that person in the background, isn't it? It's a lot more than that, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dow, have you got anything to add on that before I just go off on one? As I thought.
Quick, take a photo of him so we can have something for the calendar next year.
Someone balanced the crisps on his head. Anyway, yeah, I was going to say the clever bit I thought was the fact that you have the mystery that who murdered the girl. You have the relationship with Kylie and her mum, and then you have the whole thing of the kid in the walls and the psycho doctor, and all of those bits are interrelated through through the main plot thread, but the way they all work as individual things. You have the psycho doctor trying to analyze Kylie, and trying to get her to sort of move on. So he's actually doing a good thing, but there's a whole plot over there doing that, and then there's a whole plot with Kylie and her mum, as I said. Then you've got the mum thinking the whole place is haunted. Then you got the Eugene in the walls, and Eugene's scared of the doctor, and and then there's the guy in the across the road, old man Withers across the road as well. And it's just like I thought it's a really rather dense whodunit, but it's dressed up as a kind of comedy horror. But it does have. But by the end, it was a bit Scooby Doo. I've got to be honest.
Oh yes, yeah.
So where you start bashing through walls and climbing on the roof.
Yeah, not just that, but it was the whole sort of like, who's in? What's going on? It's the monster in the walls, and then it's like straight away, as soon as you found the monster in the walls, actually it's the doctor who's the bad guy, and then there's suddenly it's like, and now we got a murderer on our hands, and now it just suddenly snowballs into this big chase. I mean, it was just like the only thing you're missing. I think you could have run that whole bit when they're going through the back of the house and inside the house and outside the house. You could have had that old the 70s Scooby Doo music, the do 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 do, or some Beach Boys band playing some sort of like some sort of little 60s riff while everyone runs in and out of different doors and different walls, and heads coming out of the floor or coming out the ceiling. It got a bit kind of carried away, though I did like the psycho coming up behind the security guy with the knife, and it's like,
that bit.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah, something sharp. Yeah, that'll do.
That's it. That'll do. I thought that was quite funny. Oh dear, Dow, you got some stuff to add? You want to throw in, mate?
No, I think you've. I thought it was just the comedy in this was just perfectly timed. You know, I think also, do we have a favourite character? Because I know mine is in this, and it's the mum.
The mum.
It's the mum. Yeah, just because
Really?
of it's just the ordinary. Just sort of like she's just so wrapped up in the ordinary in all this. Oh, look at that bracelet around your ankle there. It's full of all that technology. I bet you feel lucky, don't you, Kylie? And the way she just drone on about stuff, and then she gets to use that to her advantage later on. Do what you do best, Mum. Yeah.
See, mine was Amos, I think.
Yeah, mine's
Yeah.
Amos.
And I felt sorry for him because he got battered left, right, and centre all the way through this, didn't he?
He got bear trapped. He got a car stuck on him. He got beaten over the head. I mean,
And he had some genius lines. There's one, I think he was talking to Kylie about the ghost. And she said, I'll just punch it in the face. You can't punch ectoplasm.
oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the big switcheroo when I suddenly thought, oh, we're into sort of, was it brain dead territory? Peter Jackson's Dead Alive / Brain Dead, where it's like you think 1 minute you think you're talking to someone sensible, and then suddenly they do the switcheroo on you, where the mum's like looking at Kylie, and Kylie's kind of giving her the eye, and the mum's kind of like, we think the house maybe having someone in who hasn't left. And
The residents haven't left yet.
Yes, and there's Amos like, who? What do you mean? I don't understand. And then suddenly, like, she goes, I think it's haunted. I think the house is haunted. And then she does that. He goes, right. And he just suddenly pulls the dictaphone out, and he's immediately doing the white noise test. And it's like, hang on, what?
It's like his hobby has come to life, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been waiting his entire life for this moment. Yeah. A closed mind is a worse defense against a paranormal, Kylie. What are you going to do with a hostile spirit? Just crack jokes? It's like, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Yeah.
It would have been really effective as well if he hadn't kept making mistakes.
Yeah.
Like with the camera and stuff like that.
And sneaking around the back of the house and kicking the fucking fence. And
That was just superbly timed, kind of like, just, oh no. Yep. Failed your stealth roll there. Yeah, and again. And again.
Yeah. He throws all that shit on the floor and then goes, oh, shh. Just sneaks back out the house. It's like you've just fucked up his room. Yeah.
Can I ask about the actual plot itself, though? Just
Go
so
on.
I've got it squared off in my head as to what is going on. So the mum and the stepdad bought the house because it was really cheap.
The real mum and dad bought the house.
Oh, the real mum and dad. Sorry, the real mum and dad bought the house because it was really cheap. Because there was a murder in the house.
Yeah.
The boy in the walls saw the murder.
Eugene. Yep.
Did he actually saw it? Didn't he? Because he didn't say anything because he was scared that they think that he had done it.
Yes.
But he was living there because he ran away from his house over the road. But then the doctor, how is the doctor related to all of that?
He was a first year intern doctor at the place.
Yes.
He was the one who murdered the girl.
Yeah.
Because he had rage and temper tantrums when they didn't fall in line with his unconventional methods.
That's right. And when she went through all the books, he should be moved on from this.
Yeah.
This is not a good fit for him. Yeah.
Yeah, which is made me laugh. It was like, rather than do anything about the murder, it's just like, yeah, maybe he should try a different job. It's like, we could arrest him, or we could just say, you know what, maybe psychiatry is not for you. It's like, fucking hell. But yeah. So that was the whole thing. So Eugene was, and that's why when he did they did that flash frame bit of Eugene in the blanket and everything.
Yeah.
Right beside the sofa, which was a very good shock.
I've got a great hiding place. He just put a blanket on.
That's a great one. It's funny, but then suddenly it makes sense of the figure you've seen before.
Yes.
In the lights out bit. And you go, of course, there we go.
Yeah. So the lights come on.
And why he was doing it, I'm hiding.
Yeah. Exactly. He's hiding, and then when he's not hiding, he attacks the doctor because the doctor can't see him. Yeah. No, that's really cool.
Mm.
Yeah. That yeah. But yeah. So that's the clearing up, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Though I have to say, it was really poignantly done, the whole thing with him taking all the drawings of her.
Oh yeah, they were good, weren't they?
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. And I thought, oh my God, this film has actually got some pathos to it as well, and emotional depth. And then just as he does that, he gets stabbed through the heart, stabbed through the chest by a fucking poker, and the whole wall falls on him. The doctor just appears. It's just like he suddenly goes Looney Tunes. There's all the tears and emotion, and all of a sudden the wall just goes and just squishes him, and that's the end of it. It's like, oh, all right, then that was the end of that. Then that's the comedy bit. That's the emotion over and done with.
And here's one you in the bath. Got any more of them?
Yeah, one of you in the bath. Yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed this film. I think I probably will watch it again, especially now I know what's coming, because it is inhabiting that kind of bad taste, Dead Alive, comedy horror, where the horror's horrible, but the comedy is really quite solid and funny. So yeah, I definitely thumbs up.
Well, just in case it does disappear from BBC iPlayer, it is on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, there's a 4K version of it, I think, on there.
I was going to say, I was going to look for it on Amazon or somewhere like that to buy as a physical copy, because it does feel like one of those films that will slip through the cracks once streaming finally goes. BBC have got it for a year, apparently, by the way.
Oh,
so
they have? Oh, well,
yeah, so you should be okay. As long as you can get your VPN of choice if you're overseas. That's what I'm saying.
Or maybe buy a ticket to cinema. Yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone got anything additional they would like to add on this one?
I don't think so. No, I think I've been through everything that I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Cool.
Same here.
Cool. Jim?
No, I think I'm good. It was a very pleasant surprise, this movie. And like you say, I think it'll repay a revisit, because it's so cleverly plotted. And that's kind of rare in a comedy. You get that sort of rewatch value rather than just going back for the jokes.
Yeah.
A rare beast.
Yes. And it's available to buy on Blu-ray for the princely sum of £8 whole.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well worth a look. Okay. Well, we'll leave it there. We've already done the phrase that pays, and if you didn't know it, you got to go all the way back to the middle. But now, before we do the Pimp's Corner, Darren, it's over to you.
Indeed.
What we're doing next week.
Okay, next week we are going to go back to the 70s I do believe it's the 70s anyway. To a film.
RoboCop.
Yes, we're doing RoboCop. That's right.
Mm.
Indeed. We go back to a film that was a satire when it came out. 1976, actually, when this appeared. That stars Faye Dunaway and Peter Finch, who I think won Oscars for their roles.
Oh yeah.
In this, also it's got William Holden in it. Ned Beatty is in there as well, and it's a film called Network.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, a film which predicted things that we take for granted today about network news.
Yes.
Things like how it's not really news; they're more opinion pieces than anything else these days, and also reality TV.
Yes,
it kind of predicted as well on there.
Nice.
So yes, so that is what we have. It's on Amazon Prime, at the moment. So yes, looking forward to this myself.
You see, have you actually seen it?
No, I've not seen it, but I've known of its existence since I was quite young.
Nice.
And I've always wanted to see it just because of its premise, how the film kind of starts off. And this is all in the blurb anyway.
Yeah.
The story is basically a news anchor finds out he's about to get fired. His job is only going to last another 2 weeks, and he threatens to kill himself live on air.
Yeah.
At the end of the 2 weeks run, but things take a bit of a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds his career going in a slightly different direction to what it currently is. So yes,
cool,
very good,
excellent. Jim, have you seen this before?
I have, yes.
Okay.
I've been meaning to go back to, but I've never quite got round to. So
yeah,
welcome revisit.
Cool. Elton?
I've never seen it, but I have been meaning to watch it for quite some time now.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to watching this.
Nice. Cool. I've seen it once, but I was very young, and so I remember a few bits and pieces, but I might as well be watching it again for the first time, because I think watching it as an adult will be a completely different experience with a lot more cynicism under my belt than watching it as a 12-year-old staying up late at night because it was just on. Just going, I don't understand what's going on. Oh, okay. And then yes, and stuff. I can't really say anything as spoil it, but yes. So I'm looking forward to actually watching it properly, like a grown up, like what they'd done. Cool. Well, we'll do that then. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, Network. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. So we'll leave it there. But over to Pimp's Corner, Jim. What's happening in Hypnagoria Land?
Last week I released another commentary episode on an episode of The League of Gentlemen, and a reading of a ghost story, Mr. Elton and Blackwood. And this coming weekend, I'm resurrecting my Nightmares of Nosferatu series.
Nice.
And I'm covering the other version of Nosferatu that appeared last year.
Okay. All right.
Which has it was a kick-started production, but it had Doug Jones as Orlok.
Oh, okay.
Ah, yes.
And did the budget run out exactly Doug Jones's rider, or was the rest of the film okay?
Well, no, it was a long time in the works, apparently, probably due to COVID, and then finding a release. But with the Eggers film, it got picked up, and so you can find it on Prime and Apple TV.
Nice.
But yes, I'm talking about that. It's billed as a remix of the original movie rather than a remake, for reasons I go into in the podcast. But,
okay, fair enough. And that's over at hypnagoria.com.
It is indeed.
Lovely. And Elton, what about you, sir?
I'm talking about cars going around in circles on the Grand Prix podcast, and there's probably war movies over at the Band of Brothers podcast. That's all
Nice.
over at rogue2media.com.
Brilliant. Okie dokie. And Darren, where can people find you?
Oh, on any street corner.
There you go. 50 quid, 20 minutes.
Twice. Well done.
Well, let's be honest. There's at least 25 minutes of recovery in the middle of that. Right. And you can find me over on Blue Sky, which is cartoonbeardy.bsky.social, where I will post up any artwork I make and occasionally talk a load of old drivel or just repost other people's artwork because it's really good and it makes me happy to see artwork and nice people doing nice things as opposed to the current real life real world hellscape. And I'm just talking about Baldur's Gate 3. Right. So we'll leave that there. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And thank you all for listening as ever. We'll see you on the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/The Black Dog Podcast, or on all the other channels. And we shall see you next week for Network. Until then, bye-bye.
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 Ta-da.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
I already came for a kebab.